course we will look into it. Yes, I'm aware that it's an election year. Keep a hold of your hat, Counselor. Now is not the time to lose your nerve. It would appear that someone has hocked a rose gold wedding ring and matching engagement ring. Sound familiar?
Deirdre Muller.
Press the pawnbroker and see what you can find out. The address is 348 South Main Street. The Muller case goes before the grand jury next week, and the DA does not want any egg on his face. Then get out to the railroad depot on Santa Fe Avenue. We have another poor unfortunate found this morning beside a railroad line. 40-year-old white woman.
Right, Skipper.
Let me guess. You're lost in my eyes.
Can you identify the man in this picture?
Another body.
Only dream.
And Deirdre Muller's ring. The Emperor may soon have to come to terms with the fact that he's wearing no clothes.
What exactly did you get that book of riddles shoved up your ass, Phelps? Is that what your old man paid college tuition for?
Where's the hose?
I could get discovered swanning around in those.
Can you drive to this one?
Fine. Where are we headed?
The guy gave his wife a tab. I said all Karen.
You've got to admit, this is looking odd.
Anyone could pawn a ring.
But if you take it along with all of the other indicators...
Cole, Hugo Moeller was identified by the school's groundkeeper. He's our guy.
Witnesses have fingered the wrong guy before.
He ran, for God's sakes.
And he always maintained he was set up.
You boys ready? Follow me.
Hard, isn't it?
Yeah. I look after all the rail depots.
What have you got?
The Negro, Nelson Gaines, called it in. I came down here to make sure him and the other guy, Jameson, stuck around.
Jameson found the body?
Something like that. Guy makes me sick.
We'll talk to the coroner. Keep an eye on both of them. Another missing ring.
Certainly seems I've been swabbing a lot of bare fingers recently.
Smell?
Very good. There is the usual evacuation smell, but it appears she's been living rough for quite some time.
Very strong smell of alcohol.
Well, the autopsy will tell, but I would assume that she was inebriated.
Can you be more exact about the time of death?
No later than 2 a.m. The state the body was in, a 1 or 2 hour window is the best I can do.
This is a chit for personal items, not booze. It's an angle worth investigating.
Good morning, ladies. I got this gadget whiz guy putting recording devices at the place.
Someone was trying to get her to come home. to the lot and see what they know about her.
That's going to be difficult, Cole. Keystone Studio lot closed back in 41.
Maybe someone at Mensch's will remember her. What are you thinking, Ray?
The city keeps tossing us dead bodies. We're just running to catch up.
Want to leave me alone so I can get some work done? Go play in front of the trains.
Hey, can you give me a hand? I got a hard case.
What have we got here?
White female, approximately 40 years of age, lipstick smudges on the face, but no writing, at least nothing legible. A blunt force trauma to the temple, nose, and eye regions. Ligature marks point to the probable cause of death being strangulation.
Any idea of the time of death?
From her temperature, after midnight would be my guess.
Detective Phelps and Galloway, homicide. Can you tell me exactly what happened?
We were shutting cars over to the main line when I saw this man here lying on top of this woman. The woman wasn't moving and seemed to be in a bad way.
What time was this?
About 7:30 this morning, sir.
Thanks for your help. Have you given Patrolman Hart your details?
I have, sir.
Thank you. You can go now.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on Levine's Liquor. Closest store to the Santa Fe Avenue rail yard, if possible.
Just a moment, Detective. Closest store would be the one at 939 South Hope Street.
Thanks, ma'am. You know the way. You can drive.
You read that those goddamn Chinese want to sell the relief food that we're sending them?
Yeah, I read about that. They're
People are starving. They can't do that.
I want to sell the food to fund the civil war against the communists.
Really? Guess that's okay then.
Armies can't fight without food. Spend all your money on weapons, but you still have to have the will to fight. Fortunately, the Reds will win in China.
Watch your mouth. You know what you're saying?
The people of this country overthrew a king. You think the Chinese will balk at an emperor if they are starving?
How can I help you boys?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. You have a rose gold wedding and engagement ring?
David Bremner. Am I going to get something for this pledge? I gave that bum money, now you guys are going to leave me short.
How much did you give him?
50 bucks?
Try another number.
20?
Try 10. Feel lucky you're getting it.
I have the rings right here.
What's this mark here?
Maker's mark. Usually traceable. That one came from Hartfield's Jewelry down on Broadway.
Thanks for the tip. Does this mark mean anything?
Hallmark. Gives you an idea of the quality.
What have you got on the guy who brought these in?
Goes by the name of Percy B. Shelley. Gave an address. 15 Poland Street, London, Tulare County.
Can you give us a description of the man who pawned these rings?
Not sure. Medium height, medium build, dark hair, I think. Sorry. He just had one of those forgettable faces.
We'll be in touch, Mr. Bremner. You can drive. We have a problem.
We could have the local...
Good morning, ladies.
Detective Phelps, LAPD homicide.
John Ferdinand Jameson.
We need you to answer some questions, John.
If you don't mind, I prefer Ferdinand.
Don't push your luck, knucklehead.
What were you doing to the body, Ferdinand?
Are you sure you won't be upset?
Try me, Ferdinand.
I was kissing her. It's not against the law.
Shut up.
There's no
Take
law
your
against
beating
it.
like a man.
Turn out your pockets, Ferdinand. Classic Carmine. Is this yours, Ferdinand?
No. I found it near her purse. I thought she could use some lipstick.
Rusty, stop. Don't hit him. You went through her purse?
It wasn't like she needed it. took a look.
You found her lipstick. What did you write on her body?
What are you talking about? I didn't write anything.
You found the body?
Yes, I did. I work here. I was coming off shift and headed home.
Why didn't you report the body, Jameson? Do you know how this is going to look to a jury?
A jury? What gives? I could tell that she was dead. I came through here about midnight last night. She wasn't here then.
Let me belt him again.
You're under arrest, Jameson. We'll see how this plays out. Until then, you can think a little on how you'd like to be treated if you were found dead.
I'm telling you, it's not illegal. Me and some friends of mine...
Clyde, you get this sack of shit into a cell. I'll deal with him later.
Sure, Rusty.
You're behind the wheel.
We should keep this development with the rings under our hat until we speak with the captain.
We're all on the same team, Rusty.
Chain of command, Phelps. The skipper will decide who needs to know. Got it?
I get it, Rusty. I just don't like it.
What can I do for you?
LAPD, Phelps and Galloway. We're making inquiries into the murder of Evelyn Summers.
Evelyn? She's dead?
You knew Evelyn Summers, Mr.
Robbins. Yes, I knew Evelyn. I was a good friend of her ex-husband. She kept some of her stuff here.
Can you show us, please?
Sure. Come this way.
You got some fine stock here, Mr. Robbins. You know, you let us take some for the road, this case might get solved a lot quicker.
He's joking, Mr. Robbins.
She kept a bed here, but I probably shouldn't have let her. An alcoholic in a liquor store, that was never going to work out, was it?
She wasn't always such a loner. Evelyn was reading Aristotle?
Evelyn wasn't stupid. The only stupid thing about her was her need to drink.
And she was borrowing books from Grosvenor McCaffrey. Rawlings Bowling Alley. Maybe Evelyn did something other than drink in her spare time.
Rawlings. I know that place. Corner of 9th and Grand. A lot of cops bowl there on Tuesday nights.
When exactly did Evelyn work in the pictures?
A few years ago. She worked in legal copyrights for music.
I'm guessing Evelyn hadn't held down a job for quite some time before she was killed. We're trying to account for Evelyn's movements yesterday.
She came by in the morning.
A social visit? To pick up some of her things?
She had a couple of bucks and bought a quart of rye.
Any idea where the money came from?
She didn't mention it, but she did say the booze was a present for a boy. She said they had been fighting and she had to make it up to him.
Were you and Evelyn close, Mr. Robbins?
Not many people will be sad she's gone. I'll be one of the few.
We got the impression that Evelyn had been sleeping rough of late.
It became difficult for me to have her staying here. Her mother was trying to get her back on the straight and narrow. She's old now. And to be honest, you have to have a good reason to want to get back on.
Do you know a friend of Evelyn's by the name of McCaffrey?
Not personally.
She talked about McCaffrey.
Supposedly he fought in the International Brigade in Spain and in the miners' strikes back in Virginia.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Robbins.
No problem. Hey, I'd like to make arrangements for the funeral. You think I could get in touch with Evelyn's mother?
Put in a call to the watch commander at Central Station, Mr. Robbins. He'll be trying to reach the next of kin.
Thanks. Get the guy, huh? Evelyn never hurt anybody.
Can you drive to this one?
Drink, fellas.
Phelps, Galloway, homicide. We need to ask you some questions concerning Evelyn Summers.
I'm Walter Mensch. Evelyn Summers, what is it now?
You knew Evelyn?
As well as I wanted to know Evelyn. She's a pain in the ass, always coming in here, cadging drinks, never had any money. She was in just a couple of nights ago.
Did she ever tell you where she was staying?
I don't know. I think she was living rough. She had that kind of stunk about her.
Who did she drink with?
A bunch of these guys. Ask around.
What's your name?
Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Mind if I ask you some questions, Mr. McCaffrey?
I'm just a starving writer, detective. What do you want to ask about?
Evelyn Summers, and why she was found beaten and strangled in the rail depot on Santa Fe.
Okay. I see your point.
How well did you know her?
I can't say that I knew her. It was more like I was aware of her.
Do you have a criminal record, Mr. McCaffrey?
Nothing serious. I've had a few skirmishes.
Do you want to save me some time, or do you want me to look up your file?
Industrial disputes, strikes, workers' rights, that kind of thing.
A regular fifth columnist. Nice to meet you, comrade.
You say you barely knew Evelyn?
Yes, that is correct.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You look down your nose at Evelyn, But you knew her, and you have some idea of what happened.
I hope you're holding aces. I'm telling you again, I barely knew the woman.
Why would you lend her your book on metaphysics if you only knew her in passing? It was more than that. A Renaissance man like yourself, lending his books to his acolytes.
She hounded me about that goddamn book, and then she lifts it from my apartment and lies to my face that she didn't take it, as if she could even comprehend any of it. I saw her go into a hotel with Tiernan last night. They had booze in a paper bag. He's your man.
Thank you for the information, Mr. McCaffrey.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Car 11K, Car 11 King, come in. Car 11K, Car 11 King, KGPL.
11 King.
A message from Captain Donnelly, return to Central, code 2.
11 King, en route. Let's not keep the man waiting, Phelps.
Mouthpiece tore strips off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out. Now the DA.
Captain is downstairs with Ray Pinker and Carruthers.
Hey, I gave his wife a tap. I said all's fair in love and war.
That's that cop. Seems like a decent guy.
What the heck? Olive oil comes from olives. Where does baby oil come from?
What's this about, Captain?
Ray and Mal have some concerns over the Henry and Muller cases, which I don't want aired outside of this room.
The evidence is solid, Captain.
I agree, Rusty. It's just that corpses keep piling up.
Copycats.
I've been banging the same drum. But the notes and the lipstick messages.
Evelyn Summers, Cartel Classic Carmine. Each woman, same brand, same color.
Teresa Terrelson didn't have a lipstick message.
Technically, you're right, Rusty. She didn't have any lipstick, but she did have a message. We found it beneath her dress, scraped with a sharp stick.
What did it say?
You sure you want to know?
Ray?
As far as we can be sure, it said cunt BD.
That's one way of looking at it.
Looking at what?
Cunt is all about access, Phelps. You're married, so yours is mortgaged. Some of us like to pay by installments. This guy doesn't like to pay at all.
Why are you so angry, Mal?
Because I just had to fire one of my assistants. He was a friend of Jameson's. God knows what he might have been up to.
Captain, we have good leads in the Summers case, but it's up to you to decide how we proceed.
Keep this under your hat for now. And follow up on Evelyn Summers. I want daily reports.
Hey, you think those Vice boys get any on the side?
We got our orders. Back to the Summers case. Get an address for McCaffrey. He'll have blown the bar. I'll meet you outside.
Can you bring me the file? Are you going to release me now? I ain't talking to you.
This guy's got a screw loose.
Hey, do you fellas need me to stick around much longer? Eating enough, yeah.
Need a drink. I got the jitters again.
You know the way. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
Let me pose a question.
Depends. What's it got to do with?
Morals. Would it bother you to put the wrong person away?
Depends.
On what?
On whether anyone except the poor son of a bitch in the slammer ever found out.
Hello, Rusty. Two on your usual lane?
I'm Detective Phelps. Homicide.
You must be new. What's your shoe size?
We're conducting an investigation, ma'am. Do you know the name Evelyn Summers?
Sounds like I should. Oh, maybe it could be Jimmy's friend.
Jimmy?
James Tiernan. He's a pin setter. One day he introduced me to a lady after work. It stuck in my mind because she was much older, too old for him.
Where can we find Jimmy, Florence?
He'll be hopping around the lanes toward the back.
Thanks, ma'am. Let's go get him.
He's only a writer. He can't really help me.
Down the left side of the alley.
That broad has socks in it, Brazier.
Where's that goddamn waitress?
Boy, that steak had seen better days.
Waitress, can I get another spoon?
When the hell's the food gonna arrive already? You gotta be kidding. I could
Food
save all
wasn't
year
great,
and never afford that.
But you're nice. I used to be indecisive. Now I'm not so
Beers
sure.
all around, doll.
The women don't find you handsome? They
That's
should at
one
least
heck of a
find you
Sunday.
handy.
Olive oil comes from olives. Where does baby oil come from?
2 club sandwiches. Thank you, waitress.
Are you drunk, mister, or are you just cracked?
That broad has socks in it, Brazier.
Where's that goddamn waitress?
You are a modest little person with much to be modest about.
Boy, that steak had seen better days.
I don't know what makes you so stupid,
Waitress.
but it really works.
Can I get another spoon?
So you're the first in this family born without a tail.
Root beers all around, doll.
He's only a writer. He can't really help me.
When the hell's the food gonna arrive already?
I knew it wasn't safe around here
That's that
anymore.
cop. Seems like a decent guy.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address for a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Grosvenor McCaffrey. Apartment 6, 126 Yale Street, between Ord and Alpine.
Thank you.
you drunk, mister? Or are you just cracked?
That's the cop from the newspapers.
So, you gonna see your married man again?
That broad has socks in it, Brazier.
Waitress, can I get another spoon?
2 club sandwiches. Thank you, waitress.
Tiernan! LAPD! There!
What are you waiting for? Get after him!
We might go faster if we weren't carrying the extra weight.
Are you liquored up?
These are flashy cars to be parked outside a bowling alley.
The lanes attract a fast-living individual with money to burn, Cole.
Or a middle-aged individual with the need to feel virile.
Another runner. Well, at least we've got a suspect.
Why do they always run? I'm sure we've got the wrong person in more than one of these homicides, but they always seem to lam it.
You know, your theories are not airtight by any means, Phelps. Come on, Phelps, you're losing that little weasel.
If this isn't the killer, we can at least get him for reckless endangerment.
That's unless he runs into a wall and he saves us all the trouble. He's going through the square.
I hope the people see him in time to get out of the way.
Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close.
What if they run because someone's setting them up? Because they feel like the deck is stacked against them?
Don't make up ridiculous stories for them, detective. Leave that to the perp's imagination.
Watch out, everyone!
I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck.
Whoa, looks like we're going into the tunnels.
God damn it, he'll kill himself.
It's all right, as long as he doesn't kill us, I'm okay with it.
Now is not the time to play around, Phelps.
That is the end of that. It's about fucking time.
This place is going to hell in a handbasket.
Help! Holy mackerel!
Hands behind your head. You can drive. Can you drive to this one? McCaffrey is in apartment 6. Doesn't look like anybody's home. Doesn't tell me anything. Torn from the letter we found beside the body. At the very least, I'd say it ties McCaffrey to the scene. It would take a smarter man than me to connect that. He said he was at home. He said he didn't know her. And we have the book.
Let's see Carruthers argue his way out of this one.
Is that you, Grosvenor? Who are you guys? What are you doing in here?
We're from the LAPD, ma'am. Do you know where we might find McCaffrey?
I'm his neighbor. Is he in trouble?
Look, lady, we need to find him, and in a hurry. Are you going to give me trouble?
He has a pigeon coop up on the roof. He spends his mornings up there when he's been drinking.
How do we get up there?
Down the hall and up the stairs.
Drunk and in command of a carrier pigeon. Surely we can write him up for that. A citation, at least.
I've told you where he might be. That's the best I can do.
Isn't he the cop who won a medal and is solving all the cases?
Grosvenor McCaffrey! Running on a hangover, McCaffrey?
Do
Sit
not
down
move
and
that
we'll
son
talk.
of a bitch. I'll go get our wheels.
There he is, officer.
You a runner, McCaffrey?
Hurry!
Stay
You
and
can
fight
still
the good
catch
fight.
him.
McCaffrey, you're under arrest on suspicion of murdering Evelyn Summers.
We need to get downtown and wrap this thing up. It's got to be McCaffrey. Unless Tiernan set him up. You don't think that asshole Jameson could have done it, do you? Whoever did it. At least it wasn't that Dahlia fuck.
How do you know that McCaffrey didn't do the Dahlia?
We have a list of over 200 suspects. His name was never on it.
If you think the list is exhaustive, Rusty, who am I to argue?
Listen, let's just work the case at hand, shall we? Then we can sit down and put all the puzzle pieces together at a later date.
I'll hold you to that.
Magnético!
You sure you can make it stick with one of these suspects, gentlemen?
It's either McCaffrey or Tiernan, sir. I think Jameson is an aberration.
All right. I'll deal with that degraded lunatic myself. He's got some fearful retribution coming. Tiernan isn't one, McCaffrey isn't two. I want a confession from one of them. Don't fail me, young Phelps.
Is anybody making coffee soon? That's correct. Can I post it there?
They weren't even his prince and he still confessed.
Do you take long at responsibility? No, sorry.
I need a drink. I got the jitters again.
I have faith in the Lord. Do you, senor? Negative.
Why did you run, Tiernan?
I was the last one to see Evelyn that night. I knew you would think it was me.
Can you describe your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn.
Can you take these braces off? They hurt. No way. Nope. I'm not gonna get out of here tonight. You were smoking a cigarette in the other room? You need me to sign some papers or something? Were you at home last Saturday? You really think I'm gonna squeal?
Sounds like half an answer to me, Tiernan. Were you sleeping with her?
That's none of your business.
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at it once and laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it.
She wanted something of his.
Isn't there anything else you can do? Yeah, okay. You trying to sit me down? Well, are there any leads?
We either hang this on you or McCaffrey. You better give us something.
Well, McCaffrey's been in trouble with the law before. I mean, he always makes out it was some kind of labor dispute, but, you know, I'm not so sure.
You see my mother? That's correct.
You and Evelyn were drinking together last night, and she had no other place to stay.
I don't know what happened last night. I don't remember.
You're lying, Tiernan. You'd been fighting with her. You fought, and...
I'm not lying! She got up and left! That was it! Don't talk about how it was between me and Evelyn. You don't know anything.
Is the captain in?
Do you own a car, Tiernan?
No, I don't.
Have access to a lug wrench?
No, we use a lot of them to clear jams in the pin setting machines.
Can I post this there? I ain't talking to you. You going to release me now?
I want the truth. I think you broke into McCaffrey's apartment and planted a lug wrench there.
I didn't do that, and there's no way you can prove any different.
I know, Yed. I sat the scratch. Is that so wrong? Negative.
As hard as this is for you to contemplate, I really loved Evelyn. She was kind and gentle to me.
Evelyn was missing a ring from her right hand.
That's strange. She always wore it. A big black circular disc with a white E in the middle. It was made from an old typewriter key, a present from the prop department at her old movie studio.
We're going to talk to McCaffrey. You need to think about what you've told us, Tiernan. You're not in the clear.
You can't expect me to thoroughly blind out, can you? No.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Can you take these braces off? They hurt. Hey, do you fellas need me to stick around much longer? We would have loved that. I'm not gonna get out of here tonight.
Guy gave his wife a tap. I'd say all's fair in love and war. They weren't even his prince and he still confessed.
You ready to answer some questions?
You think I have all the answers?
People who run from the police usually have something to hide.
Touché, detective. Let's see where this takes us.
Evelyn died sometime around midnight. Remind me, where were you?
I was at home, writing. I'm working on a manuscript.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You were out at the rail yard.
And what do you have that proves I was there?
You're going to have to do better than that, Detective.
Isn't there anything else you can do?
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Hey, you think those Vice boys...
Phelps,
are on the other side?
1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need the jacket on a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Just a moment, Detective. McCaffrey was formerly under surveillance by the Red Squad. Convictions for petty theft. Dishonorable discharge from the Army during training at Syracuse. Assault on a local woman. Says he almost beat the woman to death.
Thanks for your help.
Has anyone seen my pen? No way! Well, are there any leads? Negative. You didn't know about the insurance money I take it. I'm only talking to you. You been to my house? No, sorry.
You were in the war?
Yes, I was. Seeing the things that I saw, it changes a man. I came back here determined to change things. All I wanted was a pen and an opportunity to speak out.
You told us before that you had only minor run-ins with the police. You didn't mention petty theft.
I've never been in trouble for violence. That's the salient point here, isn't it?
You're lying, McCaffrey. You have a history of violence towards women.
How do you turn a couple parking tickets and a petty theft misdemeanor into an assault charge?
We know all about you and your dishonorable discharge, beating some poor woman near to death in Syracuse. You've never been in combat, McCaffrey. Your whole life is a fraud.
She was a goddamn peasant whore! She tried to steal from my wallet. I could have fought for this country. I could have...
You beat her because she stole from you, because she tried to outsmart you.
The ignorant audacity of the bitch. What is a man supposed to do? Sit there and take it? How is a man supposed to call himself a man?
And Evelyn Summers, a poor, drunken nobody, stole your book.
And she got what was coming to her.
Grosvenor McCaffrey, I'm charging you with the murder of Evelyn Summers. She was a sad lady who never hurt anyone except herself. I hope God finds a way to forgive you.
Congratulations, boys. You bagged the fine catch. Another red to boot. Grand. Now, I want you to put this business about a repeat offender out of your mind. This McCaffrey creature shows no remorse, and neither will the grand jury. You would have to walk a long mile to find a better candidate for an unmarked plot in the prison graveyard.
We have lost most of Shaughnessy and Dunn's squad. The gunny is dead. First platoon is in worse shape. That medic is either crazy or the bravest man alive.
Then we rally with the first and try for the Namboos.
It's sheer to the left. To the right, it goes right through a pass with 2 Namboos and Enfilade.
Mate,
we can lose everyone.
Lieutenant! Get back off this fucking bridge! They'll start walking the mortars back to their own positions! We only have minutes!
I'm in charge here, Sergeant!
Get your men off the bridge, Lieutenant!
What's your unit, Sergeant?
We don't have time for this, Lieutenant!
What's your unit, Sergeant?
I company 22nd Marines, Lieutenant, and we just saved your ass by 40 fording the river.
My orders are to reconnoiter the...
I think that point is now moot. You have 10 men left. My orders are to save what's left. Move out!
Well done, lads. You did well with the Summers case. But we have a problem. The examiner received a new letter today.
Do you mind if I take a look, Ray?
Go right ahead. They've both been rinsed in gasoline like the previous letters, so I can't lift a print.
No one else but the killer knew about this message.
And then the louse calls and says he's going to marry...
To suffer woes, which hope thinks infinite. To forgive wrongs darker than death or night.
Do you think this lipstick's too light for my complexion? It's quite hard to concentrate when you're...
Another snippet from the Shelley poem. If the note is from the Dahlia maniac, he definitely also killed Teresa Terrellson.
Mal and I agree.
But where does that leave us? If this is the Dahlia killer, and he is responsible for the Tarrelson murder, not to mention the Muller
Hang
case.
on a moment, Skipper.
Let me finish, Rusty. We have 5 birds in hand and none in the bush. The department will not survive a scandal if we have to let them all go without catching a fiend first. Your careers will be over for a start, gentlemen.
Looking in wonder.
Ah, fuck it.
While yet
I
the
knew this
music
run was too
pealed
good to be
along,
true.
I hid myself within a fountain in the public square.
You like that stuff? What is it supposed to mean?
It's supposed to... Forget what it's supposed... What does he want it
Where
to...
are you going with this, Cole?
He's obviously taunting us. He believes he's far more intelligent than we are.
Okay, it's some kind of story, right? A guy that God hates, chains him up.
It's an allegory, Rusty.
A what? Story with 2 meanings. A symbolic meaning. But that's what he wants us to think.
Could he be using it literally? Within a fountain in a public square? Could it be that easy?
Can somebody tell me what the fuck is going on?
The fountain in Pershing Square. Come on, we have a clue. Captain, thanks, Ray.
Be careful, Phelps. This is his game you're playing now.
I don't need this.